Hey everybody, Jake here from Bearded Gear, and I look like I just lost 10 pounds. I just got my hair cut, and it had been months since my last haircut, since pre-COVID, and so it was definitely time. I feel a whole lot better. This is going to be a big improvement on my mental health and the heat of my head when I'm hiking, etc. Anyway, I got home to a package to open, so we're going to check it out together. This is an exciting one to open. I picked the Danger Pickle to open it because you'll see why. But this is a Spyderco. It's a Spyderco I've never owned before. It's a Spyderco that until recently I wasn't even all that interested in owning, frankly. It's a little bit niche. It's a little bit different than most models from Spyderco. It's not my typical style or like designed purpose behind the knife, but it's different and it's cool and it's exciting, and I had an opportunity to jump at one, so I jumped. So this is from my buddy Victor. He is on Instagram as KGB Comrade for any of you who are interested in the person I got this knife from. He's been we've been in a group chat together for a long time, like years, and it's funny, several times like I've wanted something he's had for sale or trade, or he's wanted something I've had for sale or trade, and if you go back in our like personal DMs, I bet you would see 10 deals that almost happened and then just never quite did, for whatever reason. Just something else came along that was more exciting that got offered, or there's been a time or two where like he had something to offer as trade, but I really needed the cash, and so I had to go to somebody who would buy it. And anyway, we have finally made our first deal, even though we've been Instagram buddies for a long time and have tried a bunch of times. So in here we have a Spyderco box wrapped up in some bubble wrap. Now, I don't know how long this model has existed. I looked up a little bit about it when I was closing the deal on it, and it's just one that has eluded me for a long time. So I'll have to learn more about it before I do my full review, so that way I can describe it to you a little bit. But all I can say is it's one of the most different Spydercos that I can recall ever existing. I don't think it's still in production. I'm almost certain it's discontinued. But let me see if this will give you a hint. This, if you can see that, is part of the knife. It's an optional part. You can remove it. Those who know are already going to know. In here we have the Spyderco Pikal. I think that's how you say it. And what's funny is, you notice I said I opened this with the Danger Pickle for a reason, because now I have a Danger Pikal and a Danger Pickle. I did that wrong, didn't I? Anyways, I think it's hilarious that now that I have a Danger Pickle, as soon as I got offered a Pikal, I was like, hold on, wait a second. So this, as you can see, is a very different design, like very different. And from what I understand, it's designed to be gripped like this. So reverse grip, edge toward me, like reverse grip draw cut, and it's kind of a hawkbill pattern. There's a curve here. How weird is this? It's just a very different, this is a defensive knife. This knife is designed to be used to cut human flesh. That's what it's for. From what I read online, Pikal actually is like I forget where it's from even. I think it's a martial arts style that uses this specific knife type designed to be used in this grip. And so I've never owned any karambits. I've never owned, I guess the most like fighting style knife I have is the Yojimbo 2. That's a knife designed for self-defense, but it also, I found, works very well for EDC. You can watch my review on that if you want to see why. But this is just so different. This handle shape, it's got these notches out of it in these weird spots, which make a lot of sense in some grips and don't in others. It kind of forces you into interesting positions. But even in a kind of typical reverse grip, putting my pinky in that slot, it's actually pretty comfortable. It's got all this jimping here kind of set underneath the scales, but I guess it just barely protrudes past the scales, so it's not as uncomfortable as I was kind of worried it would be, that jimping there. And with the designed purpose of the knife, I feel like it really makes sense. It's interesting as kind of like a tiger claw, holding it with one finger in this groove and then jamming my thumb down into this groove. I feel crazy locked into this thing. This is just a wild, out there, very different knife. And it's got the ball bearing lock, from what I can see. I think that's the ball bearing lock. Yeah. So same lock as like a Manix 2, and I kind of dig it. I wonder actually if I could get the titanium cage for this. Spidey flicking it, if I give it the littlest bit of wrist, it'll go. If I don't give it any wrist, oh, I guess I got it. Maybe I'm just getting used to this angle. It doesn't have the same detent, obviously, as like a PM2 or Para 3, because it's a different lock type. It's not a compression lock. But wow, this is funky. It's got this wire clip on it. It's not a deep carry wire clip though, which is funny because every wire clip knife I've ever had, I don't think even just from Spyderco, any knife with a wire clip on it I've ever owned has been like looped over so that it's deep carry. I imagine you could probably put a loop over deep carry wire clip on here, or maybe I could do one of those new Lynch clips that are a titanium clip that go into the wire clip slots. There's a thought. That may have to happen. We'll see. I don't know what I'm going to do about that clip. The clip also might just be fine. And with the type of knife that it is, I find most like defensive knives, they tend to not have deep carry clips. I run a deep carry clip on my Yojimbo, but I think the idea is to be able to get to it easily. Anyway, this piece here that I teased you with is the wave feature. It's got an Emerson wave, which I know some people like hate waves. Some people want to add waves to everything. I've got a wave on my my Zero Tolerance 0620, which is an Emerson design made by Zero Tolerance. And I could take the wave or leave it. Like if that knife didn't have the wave and just had the thumb disc, I'd be fine with that. But it doesn't bother me that it's on there. I used to carry back in the day it was a Cold Steel AK-47 model, but it was the one that had the like this style lock. And now I think they only make them in back locks. I don't know what the reasoning behind that is, but the one that I had was a better lock than a back lock, in my opinion. And oh, that's funny with this. Whenever I saw pictures of these, I wasn't sure if they were like mods that somebody was putting like a little bar on it or something, but that's literally how it comes. Anyway, what was I saying? So yeah, I carried that Cold Steel with a wave feature for a long time. Like for years, it was the typical knife to find in my pocket before I was in the hobby, obviously. And I was very used to using it, and so it was nice. Now I find when I have, on rare occasions, a knife that does have it, I'm not accustomed to my knife opening like that as I pull it out of my pocket. And so a lot of the time I find myself having to remember if I'm pulling it out of my pocket, like, and be cognizant, oh, either I've got to pull this out in a weird way so it doesn't deploy, or my knife's going to come out real tactical all of a sudden, and everyone around me is going to probably freak out because it looks like I'm pulling out a fixed blade or something. I understand the argument behind waves, but I don't see myself like wanting to wave all my knives. I know a lot of people add snaggletooths and stuff like that, and zip tie mods. How cool are those? I can't stand people who put zip ties on Spydercos. Anyway, this now has its little wave guy on it. It really just screws in there, which is kind of funny. I don't think I'm going to keep it on there. I'll try it in pocket, see how it does. But this knife it's nice. It's a Golden Colorado made Spyderco, and it's S30V. I'm not sure who the designer of this is. It's got the maker's mark on it. Come on, focus. I don't know whose mark that is. I'll have to figure that out, or if you know, comment down below, let me know. But these ergos. It's funny, looking at this knife in pictures, I thought they were going to be worse than they actually are, to be honest. As shaped as this handle is, it's definitely not my favorite ergonomically, I can tell you that right now. But it works. Like I can hold this knife as a normal knife and it would function. I can even choke up and it's not so bad. Like it really is a usable handle shape for typical knife tasks, but it's absolutely designed to go in hand like this. Like this, it feels really good. That feels quite comfortable, actually. So, I don't know. Maybe Bearded Gear is about to go all karambit, and I'm going to get ringed hawkbill knives, and I'm going to hang out at the mall. Just kidding. This is interesting. This is different. I'm excited to put it through its paces a little bit and carry it and see how it does at normal knife things. Maybe, who knows, I'll happen to get into a knife fight in a back alley somewhere while I'm testing this, and then they won't know what hit them. I don't know. It's a little out there. As you can tell, it's not totally my style to carry like overly tactical stuff. Take that for what it's worth. But this is an interesting one. I don't think anyone would argue that this is a very normal knife. This is definitely unique, and for that reason, I'm excited to check it out. And the pickle needed a friend, so the Danger Pickle now has the Danger Pikal. I hope I'm saying that right. Maybe I'll just say pickle. Maybe they'll both be the Danger Pickle. That can't be. No. Anyway, also, side note, if you're still watching, cool, appreciate you. I don't know if you guys follow Birch Tree Blades on Instagram, but something really exciting that I probably should just keep a secret until it actually gets to me, but he's posted about it, so it's not that secret. Mr. Birch himself messaged me the first time. It was like right around the time that a lot of people started calling this knife the Danger Pickle, and I think I had commented on one of his posts where he said, jokingly, like, I heard people are starting to call it that, and I was like, my bad, sorry not sorry, you know. And then I sent him links to my videos, that's what it was, and he responded, and he was real nice, and didn't seem upset that I nicknamed his knife the Danger Pickle and that it caught on. He was getting a kick out of it. So then, like, maybe 2 weeks go by. Couldn't have even been that long, because just before I posted my full review of the knife, it had just been my unboxing and first impressions, and he shoots me a message. He's like, hey dude, you were the one who came up with that name, right? And I was like, yeah, that was me. And he was like, alright, cool. I'm making a couple of special bottle openers that say Danger Pickle Gang on them, and I want to send you one. And so he posted a picture today that it was done, that they're ready, and asked for my address, and so he's sending me one. And I'm not sure how many he's making. People keep asking me. I don't know. I think from one of the posts he did, it sounds like he made me one, and he at least made one more. And he mentioned doing a giveaway with them. I don't want to put words in his mouth. I could be wrong, but it sounds like there may be one being given away once these kind of all find their homes, or I'm not sure. But I'm going to have a bottle opener made by Birch Tree Blades that says Danger Pickle Gang. And he did it for me. That's just so cool. I'm so freaking thrilled. So my excitement will be through the roof when it gets here. I'm going to do a whole video on it, I'm sure. But while we're talking Pikals and pickles, I figured why not let you guys know, in case you aren't following him on Instagram. Anyway, this is exciting stuff. Thank you, KGB Comrade, for sending this over. This is my knife. I did a transaction with him. It was a partial trade, partial sale. So it's not like it's a loaner or anything like that, I should say. It's my knife now. I'm going to be using it and carrying it like it's mine. So there's going to be a first impressions on it soon. It might be a couple of days with how many other new things I've got right now. But once I've had a chance to put it in pocket, carry it for at least the bulk of a day, cut with it a little bit, then there will be a first impressions on it. And then a while after that, we'll have a full review. So in the meantime, I gotta go find somebody to knife fight, I guess, so I can see how it performs. Anyway, always fun, guys. I'll talk to you very soon. Thanks so much for watching.